You welcome back to this particular video. In this video, what we want to do is to start with our user experience research properly. From what we discussed previous time, right, is that when we want to carry our user experience research, we start by following these user experience steps. Number one, understanding our objectives, then come up with a hypothesis, then come up and choose our method, then we'll conduct, then of course we synthesize. So I will use this step and practicalize it on this particular project that we are working on, right, and see how we can apply these things in real life case scenario. Now the next thing I want to do now, I will go back to my Figma jam and I will paste something. I already worked on some certain thing that I would just love to paste, so I'll just hold on my text tool here, I'll paste this, then make it a little bit bigger. Let's make it heading. All right, so this is it. So this is what I want to paste basically. Now me pasting this now, you see that I've worked on my objective. So the objective, which is the first step, is I want to understand my demographics, my geographics, frustrations, goals, and habits. So this is what I want to work on, right? So I want to present in a different way, and this time around I want to use this particular one. So I'll hit this and I'll try to resize it a little bit, size it to something like this. All right, cool. And I'll change the color to, let's see, yeah, this color is cool, looks good to me. Then I want to add the simple text here, and this text now, let's call this text objective, the first one. I'll copy this, I'll come over here. Okay, let me zoom in a little bit. All right, let me create my text tool again, paste it there, make it bold instead of giving it heading. Okay, heading is cool. I'll give it this particular color now. All right, this is cool too as well. All right, so I'll call this my objective, and I'll try to work on something else. Let me work on this. I'll copy all of this. I want to present it in this way, and I'll paste it here. Oops, bring it in here. So this is it as my text tool. I'll make this subheading instead. Try to be smaller. I'll try to resize this basically, and okay, this is cool. This looks cool. To try to resize this a little bit to look like this. All right, so when I'm trying to arrange my stuff to, I think I don't really need this for now. Let me delete this as well, and let me drag this one to the side a little bit and try to bring this. So I'll select everything together here. I'll group it, right? So once I group it, everything will be work like one element now. So I can have this here. Let me bring my text, all of this text closer a little bit. So I have this here, right? This. Okay, now, so I have my objective. So my objective is to get the demographics. Objective of this user experience research for now is to get the demographics, know my geographics, my frustrations, know my goals and my habits. So once I know this objective, let me duplicate this. I'll say Control D to duplicate, and I'll just drag it downwards. So the next thing I want to figure out is my hypothesis, right? So I will come up with some hypothesis for this particular project. Now if we remember, hypothesis is what we believe should be our proposed solution. So for now, this is what I came up with as my proposed solution. Let me copy it. So I'll come over here too, and I'll paste it. So I believe that users will love one-click checkout, as it will save them time, and we love if application can remember previous delivery address, as it will increase user satisfaction. So this is basically my hypothesis, and let me double click here to resize this to cover it up. So this is my hypothesis for this particular user experience research. So the next thing I want to do now, let me duplicate this again. The next thing I want to do now is basically work on my method. So what method do I want to use? Now if we could remember, we have like two basic methods for our user experience research, which is the qualitative and the quantitative, right? So the qualitative is you basically gathering information based on reason why users do what they do, while quantitative is you gathering information based on numbers, numeric. So let's see the method I decide to use. So I decided to use a qualitative method, understanding why user would want to use this particular application, right? So I said the UX was carried out using qualitative method to further understand why user would prefer quick checkout and understand their pain points and frustrations while shopping online. The research was carried out by preparing an online survey form, right? So I use an online survey form as one of my method, right, to able to get those information. So if I'm using a survey form, I need to have my survey questions, right? So now we will see how I coined my survey questions from understanding my objective, what I want to get from the whole thing in the first place. So let me duplicate this again and drag it down a bit, right? So in this second one now, it will be my survey questions. So I'll paste it here. So yep. So this is my survey questions. Then I'll change it to this color and I will make it bold, of course, and I would drag it like this. So basically this is it. So once I have this like this, I have like my survey questions. So I'll come over here now, copy my survey questions, which should be all of these things over here. So I'll copy it and I'll paste this one in here. Alright, so let me try to drag this one a little bit downward. Alright, so this is my survey question. So let's take a look at the survey questions a little bit. So say what is your name? Now from my objective here, I will coin my survey question in such a way that it will help me at my objective. Remember, our objective is our knowledge gap, what we desire to get, the data that we desire to fill, basically. So that is our objective, our knowledge gap. So I'm using my method and which is my survey question, to use that to able to fill in my knowledge gap, right? Then me capturing, which is the fourth step under the user experience research, is to basically send this particular question or questionnaire, if it is a physical form that I will print out as a questionnaire, I'll send it to my target audience and they will be able to fill it out so that I can have answers to this my objective and fill in this knowledge gap. Or better still, I could prepare an online survey form. I can use like Google Forms, for example, to prepare an online survey form, send it out to my target audience. They will fill in those particular informations. Then I will use that in my user experience research, right? So what is your name will help me fill in the demographics, the geographics, like if I want to fill in bio in my user persona, I would also add a little bit of biography to this particular survey question, right? I can add that as well, but I don't necessarily want to fill that for now. Then I have my geographics as well, so I would say select your location, let me fill in that. Then for frustration, this particular question I says that what are the things you don't like while shopping online will help me fill in my frustration. Then goals, this other question that says that will you purchase an item online, what are the reasons behind. Question 4. Number 6 question, what do you look out for while shopping online, will help me fill in my goals. Then habits. Then this other question, what are the first things that comes to your mind while getting, not that, how do you normally shop for things online, will help me fill in my habits, right? How do you normally shop for things online will help me understand that shopping habits, and I'll use that to fill in that. So understanding the questions, the things that you desire to fill, will help you coin an amazing survey question that you want to use to basically fill in your data. So I'm going to delete this as well. So I'll just delete this. Instead of calling this empathy map, let me just change this name. Let me just call it UX research, right? Let me call this e-commerce. Let me call this e-commerce UX. All right, let's call it that, e-commerce UX. Let's leave it like that. Then so that's it. So we've done this particular part. We've done like how many steps now? 3 steps. So the next thing is to prepare our survey questions. As I said earlier on, for you to do that, you can use Survey, Google Forms, or better still, you can even use Survey Monkey, right? I'll print this questionnaire and send it to your target audience. And when you do that, you've done number 4. Now the next thing is the 5th step is to synthesize it. So in the next video, we are going to see how we can basically synthesize some of this information, right? And use that in our actual empathy map, and as well as our other informations as well that we have. So see you in the next video.